Yes, people, today is the day. We're finally, after about 2 weeks of waiting, get to open this box of Terminators. I'm extremely excited. Obviously, I know what I'm going to find inside, but also I'm not too sure what I'm going to find inside. I've specifically not looked at anything online or YouTube about other people opening this because I wanted to keep it a nice little surprise for myself. I've never built a Terminator. I love how they look. I think they look awesome. I did find out recently that the assault ones with the claws and the hammers are new models, or updated models, I should say. Bit more proportioned, I think was how it was described. So yeah, looking forward to opening this. Here we go. How the f am I gonna film this? Okay, here we go. This is it. The Crux Terminatus Box. Look at all of these beautiful Terminators. I'm very excited to crack open into this. Does this box just not like give you just a very happy feeling on the inside? They look beautiful. I can't wait to crack into them. So here we go. Right. Craft knife. Always be careful when handling knives. You don't want to accidentally cut yourself. Let's work this out. Here we go. Oh, there we are. Cut that one there. That should be enough. I'm very excited. Let's get into this. There we are. What have we got in here? Let's pull this out. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't realise it would be sort of like all chucked in, but that's cool. That doesn't matter. Oh, there's a bit of a plant. Get rid of that. I'll just leave that there for now. There we go. Boom. Here we are. So this is what the box looks like on the inside. Oh yeah, I recognise these. These are instructions. That was actually the most challenging thing about building my first 10 men, was to understand the instructions and try and work out what's going on, because they give you all these different options, and I just found it a little bit confusing, I guess, for the very first time, trying to work out what, like obviously this is easy to understand that it all goes together, which bits to cut, but there was, I just remember some bits where they were a bit harder to understand. Maybe that's just my small brain not really understanding what's going on. Maybe it was this page here where it's sort of like got everything listed out that I didn't truly understand what it meant. Like, why is this one blue and why is this one pink, even though they've both got hammers? Is it just the faces that are changing? I don't really understand. Anyway, all part of the learning. So there we go. Whole bunch of instructions. We'll be using them, obviously. These must be the bases. And then, oh my goodness. Just like, look at the rear vents on the, where is it? On the rear vents on their backs, I think just look awesome. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to get this all built. Now, I'm wondering if so is that like everything you need for the Ancient? I'm just trying to understand. I think that's the whole Ancient there, so I haven't got to pick anything out of this big one to build the small characters. So these are the other characters? Oh yeah, okay. This must be the chaplain with the shield. This shield, I think, is actually one of the coolest looking shields ever. I can't wait to put that on the chaplain. That's 100% going on. I just think that's a beautiful shield. I love the way it looks. And then this must be the captain. Is this the captain? Not too sure, maybe. Again, we'll figure it all out as we go. Oh my goodness, look at the size of that gun on there. What is that? That must be some sort of cannon. Like a Gatling cannon. That looks awesome. We'll be building that one up for sure, just for pure looks. This is a sprue full of lightning claws and hammers. Damn, the claws are longer than I thought they would be. That's pretty cool. So yeah, there we go. Right, we've got it open. And next is to decide what I want to build first. So just coming back to the instructions, we'll just sort of try and lay them out. Like so. It might not be the easiest for you guys to see. Anyway, I'm really interested in using the assault Terminators on tabletop. Black Templars are known for just getting in there and a whole bunch of melee, which obviously these guys are very, very, very good at, hopefully. So I'm very interested in using these on the tabletop alongside the chaplain. Just excited to build him because of how he looks. So because of that reason, I'm almost more inclined to leave them till later and target some of the stuff that I'm less interested in. And I guess out of these three, the thing I'm most interested in would be the captain, so we'll leave him till later. And then it's just which of these I want to start first, really. I guess I start the normal Terminators because he's got quite a bit of detail on that banner, which I'm not too excited to try and paint up. So I think if I start with the standard Terminator squad, I think that'd be a good place to start. Okay, so I've just split the sprues up into their sort of three segments because they were all jumbled up before. So we've got the characters there, which is cool. Then we've got here what I believe are the Assault Terminators, and they seem to have six sprues there. And then we've got the 5 normal Terminators here. And the reason I wanted to split it up is because I wanted to count how many sets of claws, the lightning claws and the thunder hammers there are. Because with these models, I'm going to try and magnetize the arms so that I'm prepared for any situation that I come across in the tabletop field. So, you know, for instance, if someone brings a lot of heavy armor, then I've got, I can switch out to a set of 10 hammers. Or if it's going to be an absolute meat grinder and I just need to shred infantry, then I can switch up to the lightning claws. And that's my initial thought. So I was actually just quite curious about how many sets there are. So there's 3 shields there. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 shields. Am I counting that right? 8 there. 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh God, I'm getting all sorts of different numbers now. 2, 4, 8, 12. I don't know. But it seems like that there are enough sets of each weapon and hopefully arms. I haven't counted the arms. That might be quite important actually. But hopefully there's enough where I can magnetize each arm on each Assault Terminator and then just pluck them off, stick on the ones that I want, and then I'm set up for any situation that comes at me on the battlefield, which would be really, really cool. So that's an added challenge, which is why I also don't want to do the Assault Terminators first, because I want them. So I'm going to practice on the normal Terminators, which I'm not so bothered about if they don't go too well. So good practice, move on to the Assault Terminators and the characters where I have maybe a little bit more excitement and potential investment in these. So that's the plan. Okay, here we go. So first time doing a voiceover and filming me make something. So I thought best just to speed through it real quick, like you see in here, showing the sort of process of going through, cleaning up the individual bits and getting ready for them to go together. Here I am using a file just to make all of the edges nice and smooth, where I've just used the craft knife to get rid of the extras. I find myself to be quite handy with the file. I've used a file for many years now, so it's one of my better skills. So yeah, there you go. But yeah, I don't really know what I'm doing there. Oh, at this point, the little bit of metal from my glue got all clogged up, so I just had to get the glue straight out of the bottle, and it was going absolutely everywhere. It was basically a nightmare. But nonetheless, boom, first gun. Quite happy with it. And then boom, 5 guns. And then the instructions took me on to making the sergeant, so that's what we're going to do next. And here I am, just cut out the sergeant's body and stuff, cleaning it up with the crafting knife to get rid of the little bit of extra bits. I find that bit quite fun and soothing actually. And now we're gluing it on without the little metal pipe, so glue's going everywhere. It's extremely uncontrolled, but also quite impressive how well the bits just fit together. So you can have a little practice and then put the glue on. It all fits together very, very well. Boom, a little body. And then we have some more body parts. Wow, who would have guessed? Let's see what we're doing here. Yep, still cleaning up with a knife. Trying it all together. Bit of glue. Wow, this is truly riveting. I am having a great time watching this. Wallop! There's his body put together. Or is it? Can't even tell what's going on. Oh yeah, shin pads. Shin pads are on. I have to say actually, on the right shin pad, it's got some little crest thing. It looks really, really cool, and I thoroughly enjoyed painting it. Moving on to his head now. chopped it out, chose the helmet. I can't stand Space Marine models that don't have a helmet on. I find it ridiculous. What's the point in having a super soldier run into the middle of the field and then get his head taken off with one straight orc bullet? It's ridiculous. Helmets all the way. Moving on to the power sword now. I went for the power sword instead of a power fist because I think you've got to go with the sword. It looks far cooler in my opinion, and I had big plans with how I wanted to paint it and like the plasma-y glow that's going to go on the sword. I was just looking at the box there to try and see what sort of position they had the sword in. And yeah, here I'm just sort of playing around, trying to get the position right, trying to make the model look good, and I was really happy with how it sort of positioned itself. So yeah, that went quite well actually. Getting the shoulder pads on now, really happy with how they look, but oh my goodness, is the glue frustrating me. It's going everywhere. I can't control how much comes out. I have to be really careful that it doesn't just spill over. Someone buy me a new glue, please. All right, and that's the build for this Terminator Sergeant, pretty much complete now. So I'm now setting up to do the black spray paint for the armor, and so I blue tack everything onto my little stick, and then I'll take it outside and give it a coat of black spray paint, which some say is quite like cheating. You shouldn't have the primer as your main army color, but I really like the sort of satin finish that the primary coat gives, so I don't bother changing it. Now, unfortunately, when I sprayed this model, it was not only the coldest day of the year so far, but also incredibly windy, so the paint didn't really set very evenly. So where I've just said I don't go around and recoat the black, I did, for this model, have to go round with black paint, just, you know, darkening down some of the patches where it was more of a dark grey as opposed to the black compared to some areas of the model. So yeah, not the most successful spray coating there, but if it was a bit warmer it would have worked fine. So, you know, I'm happy with my process. Also, this is where all of the filming abilities and camera work really started to go downhill. From this point on, lots of hands in the way, lots of blurry out of focus. A lot of the painting, as you can see there, is just out of the screen. I had absolutely no idea it was going wrong. I was really happy with how the setup was going and filming, and thinking I'm a sick YouTuber, just to come to this editing point and be like, Simon, you absolute moron, it's all wrong. Swiftly moving on, now moving on to some of the other base coat layer colours here. So putting the white onto this cool sigil thing on his kneecap. I'm not too worried about being careful here, because I know once I've got all the base colours down, I'm going to go back and clean up any errors with black. So it's more about just getting a good even coat on, not filling up any of the detail, keeping the paint nice and thin. All these top tier level techniques that I'm applying to try and make my models look as good as possible, really. And yeah, I think patience is the key thing here. So yeah, just keep the paint thin, keep applying it, and don't be too worried about, or for me anyway, don't be worried about overall quality at the moment. Next, moving on to the helmet for this guy. I don't blame you for being angry at this. 50% of the time my hands are covering the model, the other 50% is completely out of focus. So basically just thin coats of white paint again, keep on applying it because it's so thin that it dries within like 5-10 seconds is what I was finding. So you can just sort of keep layering it up until you get the sort of colour that you're after without filling up any detail, which works quite well. And there we go. So we got a nice white head ready for shading later on. Yeah, nice and easy. And here we go, production skills getting even worse. Completely forgot to film me doing the base layer of gold for all the gold detail I wanted around the model, and the cream detail for the purity seals there. I can only apologise for my poor abilities. I'm brand new, you got to give me some form of slack here. production skills failing, and now model skills are failing. I forgot to drill out the gun before priming it, so now I've got to do the drilling, getting rid of all that that hard priming work I did in the freezing cold. Remember, it was like -4 on this day where I did the priming, so now I'm getting rid of all of that hard work that I'd done. L's in the chat for me, but yeah, gotta make sure you drill out your guns. It makes the model look so much better, and it's so easy, tiny bit of work to just improve the aesthetic of your model. Please drill out your gun barrels, don't be lazy. Okay, so moving on to basing the silver, all the silver sections on this model now. And at this point in the painting process, on this model, and especially on the 10 intercessors that I've painted so far, I really started to run into the issue of the paint drying really quickly on my little palette, and then having to use more paint, water it back down, that dries, more paint. And someone, please tell me in the comments how you stop your paint from drying out so quickly, or if there's any methods you know of, or anything that you can suggest for me, because that would be super helpful, so I'm not just endlessly burning through paint when doing tiny amounts of painting like this. So yeah, that'd be great if anyone could help me out there, please. And this marks the point in which all of the base coating is done. So again, I forgot to film the base coating of all the red bits, but you can see now the handle of the sword and the purity seals have been painted red, ready for the first shade, which I truly enjoy, shading section. So excited for that to come next. Now, in true Labrador fashion, way too excited, and the result of that is just pure carnage. The whole shading video was mostly out of focus, and so unfortunately my favourite bit of the painting model, where you pull out all of the detail, can't be shown really. I've had to cut away huge sections. There you go, like you say, there's nothing there, but you just have to know that I really enjoy that section. The shading pulls out huge detail, and the model's really starting to come together. And yeah, great fun. Would recommend shading. Nuln oil is like nectar of the gods. It's amazing. So next, moved on to the power sword. Now earlier I said I had plans for the power sword and the plasma sort of vibe that it gives off. I've seen in some images people like to create lightning running down the sword, and in most images I've seen people usually do blue plasma. I felt that a purple glow, sort of like emanating from the handle and the hilt and the guard on the sword, would look absolutely awesome alongside the gold and the black armor. So here I am applying a bunch of different sort of like purple, layer paints, or is it contrast? Can't remember. Either way, I went out and bought some paints that I can't pronounce the names of, and yeah, the sword came out amazing. I was so happy with how the sword ended up looking. Here I'm just sort of darkening down towards the hilt to make it sort of look like the guard, to make it look like the power is coming from the handle, and it slowly, gradually gets brighter and brighter to the tip where it's still silver, and you get that sort of purpley pinky glow running down the sword. Really, really happy with how this turned out. Can't wait to paint this on things like the lightning claws as well, and the thunder hammers. Similar style is going to be going onto them to show off that purpley power glow. And now we move on to what I hear to be the bane of every painter's life: edge highlighting, or for the psychopaths, of which I put myself in that category, the edge highlighting is something that is to be enjoyed. I find that this is one of the, I think, second most enjoyable bit of painting after using shades, just because they're so good at getting out detail. And here, patience is really the key. Patience, trying to control your hand. That's what I found. The more patience you have, the better it's going to look. And not being afraid to go back and just correct any mistakes where you've tried to put down like a super thin line, and then it looks like you've got a wall paint brush and just coated your model in the edge highlight color. So don't be afraid to go back and fix it. That's what I did quite a bit in this model too. You can see in these clips I'm putting on what in my opinion looks like some quite nice edge highlighting, but then I think there was one point here when working on the helmet, I smudged bright white all over the left side of his face and lost all of the null oil shade, shadow shading that was on there. So I had to go back and put that back in and then re-edge highlight the helmet. So yeah, edge highlighting, patience, enjoyed by the psychopaths, and a top-notch way to finish off your model, in my opinion. Now, if it wasn't abundantly clear from the moment that I first started this voiceover, it has been completely unscripted. I've been making up everything that I've been saying as I've been going along, and I think at this point in time I have now completely run out of things to say about me painting this model. So I'm just going to let it play out, and I'll be back right at the end, I think. And here we are, finally. All the edge highlighting is done, putting together the model for the final time, the final assembly. You can see there, all of the edge highlighting complete. It looks, in my opinion, absolutely incredible. I'm super happy with how it's gone. And yeah, there we are, fully assembled. Oh, we still need to put the shoulder pad on, but we'll get there very, very shortly, I'm sure. There we go, shoulder pad on, boom. Completed model. Do I show it? Look at that. Gorgeous, mate, gorgeous. Oh, it looks like we've forgotten the little shield there for his shoulder. Pop that on. Is that it? Getting rid of some excess glue. Wallop! Look at that model. You can't tell me that that's not a pretty model right there. Come on, come on. Final touches now, adding on the Black Templar decal onto the shoulder. And you'll notice that I've got him based using bits of sprue to make a sort of rubbly scene because I'm cheap. And the Black Templar decal was actually an aftermarket one because the box doesn't provide any Black Templar decals in it. So there we go. And there we have it, guys. The first Terminator created. He looks beautiful. I'm extremely happy with how he's turned out. I think the base is slightly underwhelming, and there was definitely a lot of learning in there. And I'm looking forward to magnetising the arms of the other ones going forward. So, because I appreciate I didn't do that here. So, very happy overall. Looking forward to building the next 4 to go in this guy's team. Adding the decal on the end there. I don't know if that's going to focus or not. Adding the decal, that was a real challenge. By far the hardest part of building this entire model, in my opinion. The first one didn't work, so I had to try again. The second one is a little bit lumpy, but it's on there. I'm very happy with how it looks, and this also marks the first video of me filming myself building, painting, and basing a miniature, which was an interesting experience. Definitely one that I enjoyed and will be continuing. So if you made it to the end of this video, well, firstly, congratulations to you. That's an impressive feat on its own. And thank you for staying that long. I hope you enjoyed watching me build this as much as I enjoyed building it. And hope to see you next time. Thank you very much. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe.